What's good, Lone? I gotta, I might have had the same thing might have happened. I'm just getting bad at like getting. I think I'm just a little overworked at this point because I had to quickly scramble to get the stream going because I was like, oh fuck, it's 2 minutes till launch. I gotta, shit. So if I look a little scruffy, forgive me, but I'll be right back. I gotta do something. Go. There's there. Bring my coffee over there. What is good, Sparks and Lone? Ooh. Oh, I can't put that there because there's stuff there. God damn it. This here. Lone, have you gotten? Have you gotten Pale World yet, or can you? I'm not sure how it actually ends up being because I think you have a tablet and an old PC, but I don't know if you have all the things that can make the Pale World go, you know? Because I don't think it's coming to PS5 yet, which is just ass for people on PS5. But I don't know. I think out of all the properties that Xbox has, that has such a good reason to have it on multiple platforms. You know? Oh, that there. Awkwardly start the live thing. Boom, no, wrong one. Oh God, please. This. And then move this over here so I can see a little bit more of my lovely, jubbly Twitch chat. There we go. Good live chat, all that. You guys just see a hyper beard right now, which is unfortunate. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Why is it so bright? Oh, that got maxed out. Why? She doesn't look terrible when it's more bright. It's a little like hot. My face is pretty warm. But ladies and gentlemen, you guys watching anything? How are thee? I think I should put this on my lap because last time it bites me and it gets a little crackly sometimes. Lone says nope. No Pale One on PS5. Gah! That sucks so hard, Lone. Red just got last night. Maybe I'm not sure I actually went through it. But I've seen that there's a Discord message on my phone, so I can only see that bit. But I haven't looked at all the Discord messages, by the way. I'm trying to make this video or edit this video. I was hoping to get the first pass, which is like all of the usable footage that I want to use in kind of order. And then I add like a ton of overlays and like sound effects and things like that to make the video better. But I've almost done the first pass. But I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to see that video. That video is not going to be the conclusion / takeaway of our week of uploads. That I think I'll upload on Monday, and it'll probably just be me like talking to the camera really quick, probably like a 4 or 5 minute video, just talking about like the state of the channel and what I learned from this whole process, and maybe we could talk about it now, or not now, but in the stream at some point, so you guys can help me like kind of parse out my thoughts on it, because a lot of takeaways that happened with the whole daily upload thing that I want to run through you guys and see what you guys think. But, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I say all that stuff, the only thing I want to be doing right now is playing Pale World. Right now. I shouldn't say that. Without counting this, I love these so much because it's just a good place to just kind of talk and hang out. But when I'm editing, I'm like, as soon as I even finish editing, I can play some more of that game because it is enjoyable, man. There's so much stuff to do. I'm think about this. Do you guys think I should, like, there's a lot of guides that just popping up immediately because everyone's on the same page of like, this game feels special. Like, this game feels like it could easily surpass Ark Survival Evolved, which is on the cusp of like really becoming, I think, like a hallmark game. But this one I think like really feels like when you're playing Pale World, it feels like something special. Like when you even if it's something as simple as like, oh right, when you go to craft something, you just like bang out your Pokemon thing real quick, and he helps you like do the crafting. You're like, that's so awesome. The fact that you can like name your people, the fact that they might make those mechanics even more intricate is just like, oof. If Fluff is telling me, I seen a message real quick and it popped on my phone. Fluff was saying that you can have basically like an arm, like, so one of the things I deeply love about certain games, like RPGs specifically, is when they don't hold back the scalability of anything. So like one of the best things that's most exciting to me about Pale Wind is what Fluff told me this morning. Fluff was saying that, do you know you can basically take, you know how in the last stream we had a ghost type? And one of the unique attributes of the ghost type that we got was that he can basically stay on field alongside other Pokemon. Huge, like just fucking huge, amazing get. So that way you're no longer just as restricted to one Pokemon, but you can have two on the field at a time. Fluff was telling me that you can make another necklace, another collar, and give it to your Pokemon, and have not just one out, but 8 or what is it, 6, however many max Pokemon you can have, so you can literally have like an army of ghosts just hanging out with you. I love that scalability. They could have made it okay with like, yeah, this is kind of like, this is always the reason why you should have this type of Pokemon in your roster, but then if you scale it by 8, fucking dude, that makes it so much more like, let's go. That's an actual game, that's a game allowing you to gamify it, which I love. It also makes me a little terrified for like what the end game could be, because it's letting you scale things that hard. I wonder if they're gonna, the bosses are gonna have not just some health, but so much health. You know, I'm kind of like, please, I want the one without the drastic amount of the other. And yeah, but that looks awesome. Also, dude, man, it's such a good problem to have. We always talk about this, but like I always find we go through such massive droughts in the gaming space, and then we just got fucking haymakered like 6 times because I really want to play this game. I really want to play another game that came out this week called Bulletstorm VR, which I've already played the Bulletstorm game, but the fact that you can play it in VR sounds like a good time. Also, it's a good time to play like a crude, kind of a juvenile kind of game, which was just kind of fully sending at the time. I wanted to play that VR game. I think we'd also all enjoy playing a game that's kind of like a reminiscent of what games used to be in terms of like just saying the F word a bunch and what do you call it? Dudes who are just like the most gross testosterone people ever instead of all these like anime beautiful boy kind of situation. But also I hear some weird things about the Bulletstorm VR game, like some weird fuckiness. I think it's just on PS5 VR though. That's the weird fuckiness, which is usually the opposite. Usually PC is the one that's like a little janky, and then PS5 is like pristine. But yeah, I want to play Helldiver. This game looks, okay. So in the last, I don't think we've ever had this strong of a start. I guess it's not the start. I guess it's kind of the start. If the finals was like delayed an extra 2 months, it would have been the strongest start to a year ever. The fact that, at least for me as a person who's been playing games ever since I was like 13, and it has been like my main obsession for my entire life. Like, it's not like I play games. I watch news about the games. I look at what's coming out. We watch the guides on games. I watch videos of games without ever having the interest of playing them. But I just like the mechanics, and yeah, Warframe is one of those games for me. Not that I don't have any interest, it's just that I get most of my enjoyment from watching other people show me what the game has to offer, and like builds and all these things. But we are in such an amazing place in the last 3 months where we get, to me, it's games with crazy potential. Like we talked about this a long time ago, like maybe like 8 months ago, where we were talking about like what is an S tier video game, and I gave you guys this criteria of like in the last 10 years, what has been a game that kind of pushed the envelope and won. So like did something in which probably shouldn't have worked, but it did. That is to me potential. It is when someone shows you something and you're like, this is a bountiful forest. There's so much that we could do here. There's so much that can happen. The finals feels like that, and Pale World feels like that. Pale World. I always say pale. I just feel like it sounds more like goes off the tongue. Pale World. But that sounds like it's a dark epic. Anyways, Pale World. But Pale World also feels like that. Like just the fact that they could add more Pokemon, the fact that, again, the thing that really set me off, I'm not sure you guys could tell, but as soon as Red told me in the last stream that the developers were heavily interested in pursuing mods, and they're going to try to get that happening as soon as humanly possible, which I think makes sense for like a business don't get sued kind of thing as well. But yeah, the fact that they're interested, and not just a little bit interested, but like really interested in mod support, to me is like, dude, imagine like the framework of this game, Palworld, with everyone implementing their effect on that framework. Like, again, totally gonna be human beings who can be your pals. You know what I mean? There's totally also gonna be some sort of sus Harada mod, which sure. But also there's housing. So imagine downloading like a person's housing pack. There's definitely gonna probably be texture packs, that's always existed even for Ark and Marvel, Minecraft and things like that. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself and like that, but again, it is a really good place. It's a really good time to be a fan of these two video games. If you're really hungry for like a survival, unique survival, saying Palworld's a survival game feels weird. Because it's like, yeah, I guess you're surviving, but like you're not starving to death. You're not like fucking emaciated trying to find like one scrap of food. It's mostly like a thriving game. Like it's pretty easy to thrive in that game. And the fact that there's so many little fun things where like if you wanted, like I didn't really mention it because I was just shooting the shit with you guys yesterday, but the fact that yes, you can like do the classic survival thing where you poke someone with a spear and you like kind of run to the left of them, which is, it takes them like too long to orient towards you, and then you just kill them or get them weak enough to capture them. That's all awesome. But what is even more awesome is the fact that you could like throw your Pokemon out, tell him to go fight that. That's the only thing that's missing, by the way. I think the one thing I want from the game, and maybe it exists already, Fluff, if you've played a lot, I think you might know. Can you like tell your person, like ping an enemy and tell your pale friend, whatever, to go fucking fuck up that enemy? I don't think it is. I think you can just put him on aggressive, and then maybe you can like dome him with a bow, or you can throw your Pokeball right on him, and that might detonate him attacking, maybe. But anyways. But the fact that you could like throw your Pokemon, whittle down the enemy, like you could take on an enemy basically 10 times stronger than you if you really basically paced out your summons perfectly. So like you summon this person, he dukes it out, he fights the enemy a bunch, maybe you help with like with a bow and arrow doing a little bit of damage from afar, and then he's about to die, you pull out your next Pokemon, you throw him out, and you basically like spend all of their health pool just to get down this special one's health pool, and that's fucking sick. But also, one thing that's hilarious, because one of the like the weird rules of Pokemon, which I think a lot of people like in hindsight you're like, of course this doesn't make sense. This is not going to work at all. But it's like, how come in Pokemon you don't get like mad ganked? Like you're fucking up some rock type, and another rock type is like, what the fuck? Excuse me, and then now you have to fight 2 battles, and now it's a 3v1 out of nowhere. That totally happens a lot in the game where you're like, okay, I'm gonna get that one, and then like they have to be close enough to where aggro happens, and then you're fighting 3 battles at once. And you're like, shit, what do we do? But yeah, you can totally win those as well, which is sick. At least on normal. I'm not talking about like hardcore. Maybe hardcore gets really hardcore, but who knows? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, probably gonna talk about not the Game Awards, the Xbox Game Showcase, as well as Palworld, as well as VR and all that stuff. Man, guys, I tell you, I torched my throat. I vomited last night. What a bad idea to puke and then not like, I guess drink like milk or honey maybe, because I vomited because I had a Monster Energy drink, and I had smoked, like steeped in sugar meat essentially, and the smoked meat is basically just pure carcinogenics, not good for you, but it tastes delicious. Anyways, I ate it, and oh boy did that not do good. I had the worst heartburn in my life, and I puked. Anyways, why is that stupid thing on the screen still? Ew. There's a way you can fix this by just turning off annotations. Golly, it's annoying. Sorry guys, just looking at a fucking another, that's never happened before, weird. But yeah, my going to sleep with like stomach acid in your throat, not good. It turns out awful actually. Also, man, again, but sorry, that was where I was gonna finish off my train of thought. This game, what was it called? Helldiver. Helldiver seems pretty close also to a game that could be fucking awesome. Like we're thus far, these 3 games, at least to me, put this year like 3 times higher than any other year we've had. Because this game also could be super legit. Like right now we kind of, at least for me, I'm very much covered for like my FPS multiplayer shooter of choice, which is the finals. I don't see myself like seeing another game and being like, yeah. Especially when it comes to multiplayer games. I enjoy the vibe of that game and all the modulation and things like that. My survival baseline and my like kind of cozy game is covered with Palworld. Awesome. This game could very much cover our like tactical, make a build, make an OP. It's funny because they're trying to like market this game as like, hey, you're like a part of a soldier. I know it's like it's of a movie essentially, like Range or something. Yeah, but it's so much to me. Whenever I look at it, it looks like it's just a bunch of fucking Mandalorians sieging a planet essentially, and it looks rad. But it looks like something we could totally have fun with as a community as well, because it's mass co-op, and look at the fucking spectacle. Like, it's just, again, 2024 right now is coming up, popping off to be like one of the years where we're finally seeing like really interesting new tech. Like that many enemies on screen with them falling apart, and like these crazy arachnid things that you can blow off the arms of and shit. You can make these builds. We're having finally like a summoner-esque catch-em-all Pokemon game. We're also having a mass destructible environment game. Like these are things that we haven't seen in such a long time, and now bang, they're all popping off, and it's looking like a good strong year thus far. I'll be honest. Also, Spark says, I prefer Pale World to Ark Survival Evolved. Yeah, I play a little bit of Ark, not like only the beginning and stuff. But my brother, who's a big fan of Ark, said, oh yeah, I think this is totally going to surpass Pale World, or totally going to surpass Ark Survival Evolved, which is weird because Ark Survival Evolved 2 is coming out. So I wonder if they're going to start to kind of like learn from Pale World, which I still just don't think it had. Like, Ark kind of kneecapped itself by the fact that it made itself a like Jurassic era game. Pale World's like, I don't give a fuck about that. If it's cool, it's fun, and it's interesting, and it can do something to the player, we're gonna use it. Which is way more freedom, way more creativity, way less limitations as well. And ooh. God, my throat hurts so much. Also, what is good, Low? What is good, Sparks? What is good, Red? What is good, Fluff? Hi, boys. Sorry to say hi sooner. We're trying to get things going. I was editing, and I was like, oh, God, it's 2 minutes to launch. And I was like, this happened twice, 2 days in a row. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm all burnt out. Fluff says, Helldiver 2 releases February 8th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, also, there's another game that comes out soon, February something. I forget what it was. I don't know if it's Helldiver. It might be Justice League, or Suicide Squad. Dude, you guys know how I just spent a ton of money, like my PC and my monitor got broken, so I had to replace that. And I used my birthday money to buy a fucking keyboard, or I used my Christmas money to buy a keyboard. Anyways, choices. I'm basically trying to like parse out what to spend money on. Like, I really want to buy this this Bulletstorm game, but you know, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to do it yet, because I think it's $40. But then we also have Suicide Squad coming out, and I've been interested in that for a long time, but it seems like it's gonna fall in a place where I'm like, I haven't made any money yet, man. Again, if I could get the goddamn Mind Palace Managed channel just to 1,000 subs, I'd be able to make it monetize. But the subscription thing is a slow-going process, unfortunately. Especially not when I'm not a bastard about it, of like, subscribe to our channel. I'm just more keen on like making sure I'm thanking their members who are helping me like pay for future VR games, and all those kinds of things. And yeah. Love says you can command for no attack passive. Yeah. What I want is to ping an enemy. So like, instead of me having to like get aggro, I can tell one of my flying type of enemies to go shoot down the flying type of enemy. But instead, you need to get a bow. You need to hope to God you hit your shot. Things like that, you know. Fluff says I opted to play on custom difficulty, essentially a normal and some less time wasted. Yeah, I was tempted. I was real tempted. It does seem like you can change your shit in the world though. Like, there's an edit button, so I think you can adjust, which is nice. But yeah, I'm tempted to like maybe be like, hey, I kind of want to play a little bit for what the devs have assigned to us, because I could see why. It's one of the few survival games that I've played which feels like it makes sense in why it's slower in some areas, just because it can become much faster in another. So for instance, one of the options I would assume I see in the customized difficulty thing is how quickly you gain resources and how quickly you gain experience. I could totally see though, like for instance, there's mechanics in the game that I could see if you did scale up the resources, by the time you get to endgame and start having a use to dip into some of those mechanics, you would already have as much resources as you could possibly need, and there wouldn't be much reason to do that. So I understand, like, for instance, you could get, when Red told me that you could get, that there was a deer, that there was a deer that, like, massively gained, oh, I seen the Red you're playing with Fluff, that's awesome. But what do you call it? When Red would tell me that you could get a deer that could have, like, ×2 your harvest for wood, not only does it make that much more valuable, the deer, but it also makes it so you're like, oh shit, what do you call it? Now I'm actually making a fuck ton of wood. Like, I find our wood production is skyrocketed and our rock production is kind of okay now. But it's interesting just that, like, oh, by getting that Pokemon and by setting up the harvest stations, you're good. And also, one of the things I'm surprised by, I have no idea if anyone has any news on this, what is the build limitation stuff? Is there any build limitation stuff? Because at the very least, I hope it's not on PC. But that's always something that drives me up a wall when it comes to games like this, like survival games, where they always give you like a build limit, and it drives me fucking mental. Like, if Minecraft has figured out how to make people make skyscrapers and to not crash your game, why can't this? Maybe it's because it's the art style. Luckily, Palewind is not like a fucking 20 million graphical game. It is a pretty stylized game that looks soft but charming at the same time, you know? Fluff says you Helldiver says Fluff, and the sequel are heavily inspired. Yeah, Stormtroopers. That's what I was saying. Yeah, but Stormtroopers. But to me, it also maybe Stormtroopers was inspired in some ways by Star Wars or Boba Fett. Maybe because yeah, I feel like all their even the whole design looks like just a bulkier version of that. But anyways, regardless, this is one of those games that I don't know. But I could have said the same thing about Pale World, where like I was like, this could be amazing or it could be kind of okay, because we didn't know if it was going to be like executed really well. Shockingly, like I mean, if I were to jump back before I even played Pal World, I seen a bunch of YouTubers play it and I was like, it can't be that good, or like it's weird. Can you guys feel? I'm not sure you guys are like me, but I can feel when something is like marketing talk, you know? Like when a YouTuber who I've watched for years play games, within the first 3 seconds I can tell this is a sponsored video, and then wait for it. This video is also, thank you so much to Square Enix for sponsoring this video. I'm like, okay, got it, yeah. Because there's a way people kind of talk when there's like attention that is like an older brother looking over them, like, hey, just be careful, don't say those things. I got a lot of that when it comes to Pale World, with some of the people I'm subscribed to. And they were all enjoying it, and they were vibing with it, but man, it also looks good, but it feels way more fun to play than it looks, which is rare for games like that. But yeah, I think it's one of those games that now that I've played it, I'm like, I'm in. I'm in. I know this is probably agonizing for Lone. It's like, well, it must be great, guys, you fuckers. Sorry, Lone. I'm sure it'll come to a PS5 eventually. It'd be one of the weirder things. Like, I understand the idea, by the way, that sometimes Microsoft doesn't want to, like, may not want to give Call of Duty away. That kind of makes more sense. But a game that's like a cozy survival game, I can't see why they couldn't throw it on PlayStation. You know what I mean? A Call of Duty I could see, because it's like live service games that like milk money. I could see being like, hey, we kind of want. Now even then, that makes sense to just put it on Sony. Sony's the only one that I feel like is holding back the just mass adoption of like everything going, which makes sense. They have the most to lose, I guess. They don't have any like, which is probably why Sony's trying to like pump out live service games so quickly now, which is hilarious because fucking Xbox is actually doing a pretty good job. Like Pale World, even though it's early access, is basically just another way of saying like live service essentially. But without a battle pass or some shit, it's just going to be updates for probably 6 months, and then they're going to be like, hey, monetization hell. Monetization hell, there we go. Maybe, who knows. Lone says, I'm just chilling. I'm more excited for soon. Really? Oh, wow. Yeah, man, I want to play. I forgot about that. Because to me, I don't know. I don't really know what to buy. I really want to. I think I would enjoy getting a Suicide Squad. I think I will get it because we have enough time. What is it? It's the 20th. Yeah, it comes out the 18th. I think Suicide Squad. I thought it came out a fair bit away. But then we also have Stormtrooper. Or whatever this is. Helldivers. What did they just fucking call it? Stormtroopers or not Stormtroopers? What is it called? The Starship Troopers. Jesus Christ. Fluff says, rare for January / early Feb to be delivering so many. Yeah, well, man, that's my whole point a little bit, is like, the way I feel about the finals, and the way I feel about the pals, which I need to play more of it. I'm kind of like living in the hype of me like, holy shit, that was so fun. I can't even, like, I can't remember last time I had that much fun playing a video game. But anyways, I always knew I probably have a proclivity towards games like Minecraft or games even like Ark, but I just never had enough time to invest and play them. Also, they're kind of complex usually, which this game is really not, so you can just jump on board really fast. What's good, Raid? But yeah, like, the way I feel about these two games is better than I felt in the last, like, 3 years for a lot of games. Like even Starfield, like, that was the big game they looked forward to yet last year. I'm excited, but I'm mostly because I just like being excited for games. But I'm not, like, really excited to, like, get in there. Usually when I get in there, it's usually when I'm like, okay, this isn't quite what I would like. This is not exactly what I thought it'd be, but I still am having fun, so I can't complain too much. This is one of the few times where, and I think it's probably a part of it, is my expectations were so low by this game. Because I was like, surely this can't work as good as I would hope it would. This can't be the Pokemon game I always wanted. It 100% is the Pokemon game I always wanted. We even talked about this, dude, forever. Do you guys remember that game? I showed you guys, like, a clip, like, maybe 2 years ago. I showed you guys this clip of, like, a Pokemon, it was like a concept art, basically. And that might have been, like, the developer trailer, actually, for, like, Mach 1 of PALS. Pal World, sorry. Because I remember seeing this cool thing, and I always thought it'd be awesome if you had a third-person game where you had these large-scale battles where you could throw out your Pokemon, but instead of you basically, like, my idea was basically that you would throw out your Pokemon, and very similar to Atreus in God of War, or what's his name, V from Devil May Cry, where you're basically, like, using summons, but your buttons are tied to combos, and those combos are tied not to your character's movement, but to the beast that you're summoning. So you basically throw out your Pokemon, and then your left stick would just be about, like, positioning your person in a third-person view, jumping over, like, AoE, death lines that come at you, jumping over them, rolling through stuff, surviving the enemy's attacks that way, whilst you're simultaneously activating your summons to do abilities. And that was my idea of, like, okay, this would be, like, the Pokemon that I would want. Like a mixture of, like, how could you both have the third-person awesome POV whilst also having an effect by actually, like, commanding your Pokemon and actually making sense. And having, like, the fastness and fluidness of combat being something that keeps it exciting. That was the idea that I had. Pale World is basically the same thing, except instead of you having input over your companion, you have a gun or an arrow or whatever, and yeah. But maybe there is a Pokemon that's like that, or a special ability that's like that. You could hit an ability, and now you're basically firing instance commands for your Pokemon to attack, to dash, to dive, things like that. So who knows? But that was my initial plan. But this is basically the same format that I've always wanted when it comes to Pokemon games, or a third-person, like, actual evolution of what Pokemon should be, rather than it's like the same ass formula of, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to hit him with a bite attack, a stun attack, or whatever? Here's his elemental weakness, and that's it. That's the whole goddamn game. And you're like, well, great. Well, great. I want to actually, like, dodge attacks and, like, hit someone's weak point and do a shit ton of damage because of that. I want to weaken them by me, like, alley-ooping my Pokemon and not just sitting there like, hit him! Kick him in the teeth! Oh! Instead, I want to fucking go up there and shake a fucking Pokemon in the kidney and then run away as my Pokemon blast him with water or something. The Fluff says the design of the Helldivers is more like the Halo ODST. Yeah, I don't get that at all. I get, like, yeah, no, I don't get that at all. To me, it is so much more Stormtroopers than it is Halo armor, even ODST armor. ODST armor looks like very lean and it has, like, very iconic concave helmet. This looks very similar to, like, Mandalorian. Especially the cape also fucks it up. If they maybe didn't have the cape, I'd be like, okay, but the cape and all that shit. Even the bulbousness looks so much more like Star Wars than it does like sci-fi Marine Corps, I guess, you know, which is the Halo series. That's me. That could be. That's a difference of visual seeing. Fluff says, which ODST does stand for Orbiting Drop Shock Trooper. Ooh, that's sweet. Red, have you? Sorry, not Red. Raid, have you gotten the pals yet? I don't know if you were playing with us yesterday. I know Sparks, I think, was playing alongside us. Sparks out here doing all the fucking boss battles day one, like a lunatic. Lone says, which I was thinking, should I get a deluxe edition? Yeah, LaFluff was talking to me about this, Lone, about whether you should get the deluxe edition or the like standard edition. It sucks, man, but like I'm in the same boat. I'm looking at the thing, I'm like, for $20 you essentially get like a handful of other things, but at the same time it's just enough to be like, it's the difference between me spending $80 or $90 $80 to like $90, and you're kind of like, I don't know. You know, and in hindsight, if you think about, like, I think it helps if, you know, whatever you want. If you want to buy the deluxe edition, then you can be like, hey, dude, you're gonna get some more content. You're gonna get skins. You're gonna have a really strong start because you're gonna have extra skins to look fabulous in, all that stuff. Great. But if you don't want to spend money, you could also say it like this: you are spending an extra, I think it's like $10 to $20. Well, I'm not sure how exactly it is. I think it's $20 more. At least that's how it is Canada. Maybe it's less in the US. Maybe it's $10. But you're spending $10 extra for like 2 or 3 skins. I think it was like a weapon. The point is, you're not spending $60 worth. Like, you're spending 10% on what is arguably like 0.1% of content. You know? And also, it's a content they're giving kind of everyone. I feel like it'd probably be smarter to buy the base game and then wait to wait 2 months and then like spend that $10 or $20 on an extra $30. Yeah, spend that extra $30 on whatever is going to be the skins that are going to be like better than like what is unarguably always given day one. Day one skins are never as good as day 30 skins. You know what I mean? So that'd be my advice: is get the base game and then wait a couple days or something to then spend $30 on what is unarguably going to be more better skins. I think you maybe get like a weapon skin or a weapon that could be helpful or like early game, but like we're just going to bulldoze through that anyway. So my advice would be not get the standalone game and then have the intention to maybe drop the $30, which you were debating doing anyway, later when there's more skins and whatever that could be, you know. But to each their own. Again, if you want, some people, I'm guilty of wanting to have that strong start as well, but you know, I think for me the game is $80, which is just fucking horrific. Again, man, I'm so this is one of the reasons why like I've fallen so in love with VR. VR games are like $30 to $40. Like, when was the last? If you guys were really excited for, let's say, Pal World, a bad example. Let's say Helldiver or Suicide Squad. Maybe you're really excited for these two games. You tell me you wouldn't drop $30 to play a game that you're really excited for. When you start saying, are you willing to drop almost $100 on a video game? You're like, what if it's bad? Yeah, you have Steam refund, 1 hour, 2 hour playtime. So there's that, I guess. Yee. Fluff says they can't call it Star Troopers. That's separate. Oh, I see. I thought it was like, I thought they had the blessing of that all. I thought they just get really close then. Also, Fluff says Suicide Squad is Jan 30th for deluxe. Yeah, see, that was the thing. Yeah, fuck, that was what it was. That's why. Yeah, that makes me not even want to. God, that pisses me off. I hate that. You guys know that. You guys know me at this point. I fucking hate the early access by 5 days stuff. It shits on the whole potential of the game. It makes sense, I guess, in a live service game from like a business standpoint, but it just shits on the player experience because you can't get excited with people. I think it cannibalizes the initial success of the game because people are like, oh, I can't play it now. And for like maybe the 10-20% of people that say fuck it, I want to play it now. You've trapped me, or you've caught me. You've made me desired enough to want to buy it now early. it just does so much damage to the other percentage of people who are having to wait and and not being a part of the initial, like, oh, did you find this? Did you know this? So yeah, I hate that shit. What is this? Oh, what is this? Direct Relief Charity 2018 Rasta. Hey, what's the Rasta? I don't know what that thing at the back of your name is, but what's good? Hi, man. Good to see you over at Twitch. Lone says separate. Tired today. I'm a little late. I'm a little tight on money. Dude, I'm in the same boat. Be careful. Be careful. Maybe, yeah. Also, you be spending money on gacha sometimes. It's so hard to be like, well. Lone says $30 extra. Oh, what's good? Vortex says, do you remember? I do remember Let It Die. People can't let me forget it because people come here constantly and are like, Let It Die when? And I'm like, buddy, I played it so much I can't. But I appreciate the. Usually when people come in here, they're usually very sweet about like, are you gonna play it ever again? And I'm like, I've played it for so long, no. And I've moved on to other things, unfortunately. It still baffles me that we get so many people popping in they've been like having for like 4 years. I must have done something right with that game. Shitty that I've long since forgotten what that was. Oh, just play an indie game that's kind of no one else is playing and become the only person consolidating the community's collective knowledge on a game that is very much dependent on your knowledge of it. There you go. That's not a super rare get, damn it. Flo says that there is even a Starship Trooper game that released recently. Really? Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, but again, this is one of those weird things where it's like, it's one of the better examples of, there was a game that was like very much Summoner inspired, and I actually wanted to play it, but the gameplay was not something that I think people were excited by. It's almost like, it's like a deal with the devil. Like I think a lot of game companies do the deal with the devil thing, where it's just like, we'll give you this game that you've asked for in every single category. We're going to give you the summoner thing. We're going to give you the weirdness of the summons. We're going to give you companions here. We're going to give you an RPG. But the gameplay loop is basically, it's like strategy based, or not strategy based. It's like we freeze time. You get to decide what you're gonna do. Then we're gonna freeze time again. The enemy's gonna decide what they're gonna do, and we're just gonna do that for 20 minutes. And each encounter is gonna take 10 minutes. It's gonna be super slow, super chunky. But hey, we gave you everything you wanted, right? And you're like, not like this, not like this. How could you? And it's a nightmare. All right. Whereas, like I could see them making a Hell Trooper or Stormtrooper, Starship Trooper game, which is like a top-down, squadron game, versus this, which is what people want from that. People would want this version of that much more than XYZ, Same thing with the Pokemon games. We're like, we made another Pokemon. It's the same shit. Again. Again, we gave you more Pokemon that are basically just reskins. Eat it. And then Pale World comes out, and that's what people wanted. That's what people want. I wanted something different, that's different, and that. Turn-based, that's what I'm thinking. Thank you, Flo. I couldn't think of the name for it. Saved my life. Lone says, all right, I'll go with the standard edition. Plus, I want to experience it with you guys who are going to play it as well. I will. Now that you said that, now I feel like I have to play it. We might skip out on Helldiver because you said that, and now I have to. Also, I've been hyping that game up for a while. If I can't take that loss on the chin, which it might be, then who am I to talk about video games anymore? I heard a lot of people say that the story was going to be is like one of the strongest parts of the game. Apparently, people aren't really loving the fact that there's, especially if you just come off of like Spider-Man 2. There's a lot of like the gamey, grind out 20 of these activities to get a costume, or to get a legendary weapon that may be shit, it might be good, who knows. There's that kind of stuff in the game a lot, apparently, which is the only thing that people have been saying is kind of like, it's not very good, because it gets exhaustive at a point. The good news is I haven't actually played a game like that for a long time. A game that's like, hey, could you do this and a little bit of that, and come on, So I might be the winner there. Fluff says almost every stream someone comes in. Battering is a little bit. It's a little. It's funny because everyone always comes in, and I think it's like the issue is like there's no context through text. So a lot of people come in and they're like, "Why don't you play Let It Die anymore?" But it's not said like that to them. It's probably said like, "Why don't you play Let It Die anymore?" You know, like, I really loved it from you. Because the minute I say, like, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm not really playing much. I really, I did enjoy the game a lot. I burnt out on it. I played too much of it, that kind of stuff. They're like, oh, thank you so much. I understand. Do you, man? So they're always sweet about it. So it's like, I think it's just, people don't realize when you write text, you have to really pad the text with a lot of, like, subliminal padding of, like, hey, I really loved it when you played Let It Die. Have you ever considered going back to it for a little bit? And frankly, that's just good words. Where now that I've said that to myself, I'm like, maybe. It's the difference between do it to making a really like soft, strong argument about like I think it would be really fun if you did this very reasonable and bite-sized thing. And you're like, that's not that bad. I think I could do that. Dogs are popping up. Sorry. Fluff says we should all agree on doing what the game name is. Let it die. Let it stop. Okay. And again, it's fucked up because it's a testament to like, as much as it's like, god damn it, it's a little annoying. It's also pretty like, hey, look at us. Look at us a little bit. Like we've made content. We've made art that is that goddamn timeless. That is being hyper generous with what we did, but it's true a little bit. The fact that you can make something that like for years and years to come, people are still like having an experience about is pretty wild. Granted, that's probably more in the game being unique and awesome than my dumbass, but still. Also, Rasa says, it was an old charity thing that Twitch gave out badges a long time ago, and they said they were going to remove him, and they never did. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Very cool. Yeah, it's weird. My Twitch stuff gets all weird. My Twitch chat looks like it does weird things. Yeah. It takes a while to balance out. Like eventually, I think it goes back to the cool like Frost thing on Ross's name, or yeah. It's like the Senator, what? It's like Senator Palpatine drew it. Oh, I see. Okay. Also on my chest. Oh, sorry guys, hit the mic. Is that facing upwards? It should be facing up, but it's kind of not. Jesus. All right. Ooh, I'm getting a little dizzy looking down like that. My eyes need to adjust. Fluff says GRINN. They've done both. Really? I haven't heard anything about. I mean, I have heard like. I heard of Earth Defense Force, but that's like the only thing. Is that what it is? Because otherwise I have not heard about. I've literally never heard about Starship Troopers game. I've heard about Earth Defense Force, which to me is I think the best example of like what people really wanted from like Earth Defense Force, but maybe too much. Crazy scale, like you're fighting 1,000 enemies opposed to like like this one, which is like maybe 60, which is a lot, but. Fluff says there's an isometric Star Trooper game and the more recent large military squad FPS. Really? I never seen anything about the FPS Star Trooper game. Wow, I've completely missed that. I'm usually pretty good about seeing at least a little bit of something. Wow. Fluff says the original Helldivers was also isometric top-down. Well, thank God it's not this, not that now. Lone says, I'm interested in what the ability pass is going to look like. The ability, you mean like the abilities in the class for, oh no, you correct, you said battles, I see. I'm interested in what the battle pass is going to look, yeah, that's one of the weirder things. As much as I'm very much excited for Starship Troopers, Suicide Squad. As much as I'm really excited for Suicide Squad, I am also equally like, again, it's weird. It's almost like, what was the last game that we talked about where I was like, why is this? That's what it was. the whole Indiana Jones game. It's just like, to me, it's very odd. Like, I know Red was telling me that there's like a beloved, people really like connect with Indiana Jones, but to me it just is kind of like a weird property to make a whole ass game about. Like, with the one exception maybe being Naughty Dog. Like, back in the day when Uncharted was popping up, people were like, make a fucking Indiana Jones game, because it's basically the same. It's basically what Uncharted is. It's Indiana Jones except more young. In fact, yeah, I honestly would argue Uncharted is probably the better version of Indiana Jones. Anyways, but yeah, it's weird to me. Like, the Suicide Squad makes sense as far as it being like a fun Arkham City game. You know, like Arkham City, everyone loved and adored. This is a make sense of like, okay, let's do that, but let's times it by 4. We still have a big ass map. We still have things for you to do. We still have like fun objectives for you to play with. Awesome. But what doesn't make so much sense is the whole like live service element being plugged into that. Like, I'm with you, Lone. I don't really know what the battle pass or like roadmap for the game is going to be. Like, I don't know how they're going to keep evolving these characters and making them okay. You know, my dog Bella is popping off. I'm not sure if the dog's barking is louder with my dog's barking with this mic, or lower. I don't know. I could shield you guys a little bit. Guys, also, this is one of the coziest sweaters I've ever had. It's just so goddamn soft. It's like the mesh inside is like blanket material. Like, floofy blanket material is inside of it. It is so goddamn wonderful. Fluff says, ask the devs, where's more Let It Die? Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's the thing, though. I gotta kind of cover my bases. Let's say Let It Die came out tomorrow with the biggest fuck off update you've ever seen. I still have no like mass excitement or interest to jump into it. I think it's because I played so much the game that my brain kind of got burnt completely on it. Not that I feel like if I jumped in, I could have a fun time. But I could have a fun time with a lot of games. I don't dislike the game, but I played so much of it to where like it's just like water, you know? Yeah, like the only thing that could maybe be interesting is like a fresh slate, like Let It Die 2, where it is 100 years in the future. Our old soul character who climbed the tower is now like entrapped in a badass statue, commemorating his might or some shit, and then his message to you is go higher, basically get to the moon. I don't know. That would be an interesting thing where, like, just because of the novelty of the story, the fact that we were a part of it, ingratiated into the thing, that to me is like, fucking let's go. That would make me excited to want to climb again. I don't think that's what Let It Die 2 is going to be. I think we're not going to get Let It Die 2. I think we're going to get a goddamn Deathverse 2, where it's going to be the same thing, live service game with multiplayer and PvE, and hopefully it's good. I don't know. But yeah, so even if there was content Let It Die, I don't know if I'd be like, yep, boom. I mean, maybe if like if it became like I could play video games and make content for people and make them happy, and I could financially do that as a job, all of those things I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'd go back to Let It Die. But none of those things are reality. So yeah. The Star Trooper game never got much, but yeah, I never got much marketing budget for Fluff. I've never seen any of it. If you actually can send me some gameplay of it, Fluff, how old is it, the Star Trooper game? If it's like 5 years old, then I might. But if it is, then yeah. Fluff says, honestly, I just find it suspect when someone has claimed to watch you for years and not even known you've been streaming for the last 5. Yeah. Well, that's also the craziest thing is I don't think there's many people who've been on YouTube for 10 years, like myself. So in some cases, I do believe them. But yeah, and also I think a lot of us, like, that's the issue when you cover one game so much. Like, that's why a part of me, like, I realize that's a huge part of doing stuff like that, like playing like covering one game and talking about it. Like, I'm even thinking about, depending on how much I love Pale World, trying out some like quick videos, really quick, like not nearly like the Mind Palace and Madness videos, but just something quick that is like a quick overview that I can talk to people about the game. Maybe make a video talking about how brilliant Pale World is and why. Maybe talk about how I think there's so much potential in this game, and we could cultivate a community there maybe. But to me, the issue when you cover one game so much is that it has this weird like feedback loop that's pretty goddamn toxic, where you basically, if when you stop playing that game, people just go away because you're no longer doing the thing that they're kind of like they recognize so deeply with you guys. Also, was someone messaging the shit out of me? Because yeah. What was the last thing I was? So yeah, to me, yeah, that's the. Oh no, that's what Fluff was sending me the game probably. Got it. I'll bring it up in a minute. So that's anyways. The takeaway I think is you probably should be playing a game, yes, to like try to cultivate that audience, get people who are interested in the game, giving you a chance. That's awesome. But then you should find a way to like make a community, make people feel like they want to be a part of like your little weird ragtag group of people who are nice and kind and funny and whatever and weird and all these things. And that's, I think, the route that you should take. Is like look at each game as like the harvest to kind of collect people and trying to build the bridge between the game that you're covering and people liking you make that, and the content or community that you build, which is a wee bit tricky. Lone says, Grin, did you see the video I sent you of the Shield game? I have not. We should pull that up. Yeah, absolutely, we should pull that up. I did try to, I looked up some like Shield gameplay for myself. It looked okay. It looked really good. I just felt like, you know when you see like the highest level of a person using like the shotgun, where they just don't miss a fucking shot, and you can clearly tell this person has played like 100 hours of just this gun and have just no life for a long time. I've seen a bunch of videos of the shotgun. I've seen some videos of the finals like that with the revolver as well. But every video I've seen of the Shield one was a person basically just being like, isn't this kind of crazy? You can just like run at someone with a shield, and they got like 3 or 4 kills, then they died. You know, I haven't seen someone like truly master it and like just perfectly sink it essentially, the shield. So hopefully that gameplay we'll watch in a minute here as well. I think we'll watch that before. Well, maybe we should watch the Stormtrooper. What is it? The Stormtrooper fucking Starship Trooper. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to say that off the rip, because Stormtrooper is just so much. My brain is just like, that's what we want to say, right? I'm like, no, it isn't. Please. Fluff said Warner Brother Games is just too obsessed with monetizing their games for no good reason. Dude, that's everyone right now. I don't know what it is. I mean, I definitely think we're just getting into like a hyper capitalistic. I don't even know capitalistic. Yeah, it just seems like, the thing that's we got to be honest with ourselves with is I don't think we're very different. So like, let's tell a story, okay? Hypothetically, say you you make a small business. The business does really well. Maybe you have a really good relationship with your employees in the business. Awesome. Maybe fast forward 10 years, you've done some business things. Now the business is significantly bigger. Now you have shareholders and you have all these people around a big table, all helping you decide what to do next, okay? Now you leave your office every couple months, every couple weeks, let's say. You go downstairs, you talk to the same people that you love. They seemingly are happy. They're doing good. You go to your development team. You're trying to get these checks and balances done, but you have a good relationship with them. They're talking nice to you. All these things, good. You go back upstairs. Then we all have to make the choice to either do option A, in which we make significantly less money, or option 2, in which we may make significantly more money. And maybe we're all good enough to be like, no, there's some repercussions that we're not considering about making less money. Making less money or making more money would actually hurt us in different ways. All that kind of stuff. Let's keep riding this train. But then year after year, you see, other companies skyrocket, like absolutely fucking pop off, making billions of dollars, being able to expand into bigger projects, into bigger things, and just more and more and more, right? Then let's fast forward even a little bit more. Let's say you have a really bad year. Maybe one of the games that you put your heart and soul in just didn't connect for whatever reason. And now the same employees that used to think highly of you now don't think so highly of you because you're having to cut their pay. You're having to let some of their friends go. And now, just because you made, quote unquote, the right choice, now you basically are, you had to fire some of the most wonderful people you've ever had to talk to. And you were technically responsible for providing a job too. Okay, well now it kind of makes sense why you'd be like, okay, well let's make a little bit more money. But the issue is what happens when you just say, hey, that's why we do all this. Why don't we just keep doing anything that makes us more money? Because hey, I have a business and I have to look after my employees. My employees. I have to constantly look after my employees. So we're gonna make all the choices that make us even more money. Hey, if we make even more money, then we can have so much more safety. We can coast for 15 years if we do one live service game. We do one live service game, 15 years, we're just thriving. We're okay. Come on, man, why can't we do that? You have a whole board of telling you that, come on, let's do this. This is for the company. This is for the people that you are responsible for employing. Do that. And then, it's been a couple years, it's been 2 or 3 years. That massive safe of money that was supposed to be your protective net has kind of gotten absurdly massive, like just kind of fucking crazy big, to the point where like you can coast for 30 years. I mean, that's kind of crazy to expect that anyone's going to give you 30 years of reassurance. Why don't you take some of that money to reinvest yourself? You've bled for this company. You've taken so much responsibility for your employees. You're so fucking tired all the time. You sacrifice things with your wife and your marriage and all of these things, all in the pursuit to take care of your people and take care of your baby, which is this company. Why the fuck would you not deserve a little bit of a bonus, given you've already earned that bonus, given you've made all the right choices, your business is thriving, people are telling you it's great, your shareholders are happy? Why would you not keep taking money? And then it just becomes this gluttonous thing where why don't I make more money? Then I take a percentage of that money. Maybe I take all the percentage. How long do these people really need this? And eventually you get so far down the fucking rabbit hole that you're basically just gluttony itself. And I think each one of us could be that person in that story effortlessly. Effortlessly. So to me, as much as I want to sit here and be like, it sucks so hard that every company in the last couple of years has just been so, they've seen like how much money a Genshin Impact can make, and they're just like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, and arguably you could have a love of the game. You could be like, oh, but we could, you know, make experiences that are really like art and beautiful and are meaningful to our players. But also, there's always the idea that you have to pay people money to make these things. So why not make money to have stability for the future? But then that almost always gets converted into, well, why don't we just take some of that money and put it into other things? Maybe in this story, the founder or the person making all these choices, us essentially, are not so silly to basically be like, we deserve the excess or whatever it could be. Maybe instead they're like, let's just expand. Let's just make, let's hire more people, make more jobs, give people more things, and all these things, and so on. Maybe it's less like that, but regardless, it all ends up in the same place, which is more, more, more. I see this thing that is constantly when we're playing games like the finals or whatever, but it's like, what is it? It's rip, tear, devour, harvest, that kind of stuff. Rip, tear, devour. The three that come to mind: rip, tear, devour, rip, tear, devour, rip, tear, devour. And it's not necessarily me making a joke, but it kind of is. It's more of an acknowledgement of the ravenous nature that I have, and I think that everyone has. Especially when you're getting into this mental thing of like you're fighting an enemy, you're wanting to conquer something, you're trying to level up, you're trying to beat this person in a multiplayer game. It's like this passive desire, this nerve to keep more, rip, tear, devour. It's this thing that I think exists within every person, which is a lot of if you acknowledge it and you talk about it openly, it tends to have a little bit less of a hold on you, especially considering the more you look at it, the more you can distance yourself from it or adjust away from it. But anyways, that's just me. I rant about like how every game seemingly is getting more gluttonous about the live service elements and all these things. And maybe in some ways it's better. You know, maybe like back in my day, it was kind of a rough, if you didn't come from a rich household, getting a game was a rarity. Like thank God Blockbuster existed, and you could buy a game for like $10 and just play the shit out of it for a week and then be fine. But the idea that basically if a kid was growing up right now who is in pseudo poverty, let's say, if a game being free is fucking huge. You know, who cares if I have to? I just don't get to play a battle pass. So I just don't get to have some neat, flashy things. Yes, maybe I always want those flashy things, and maybe that builds up this deep desire to have them one day. But maybe the fact that I can play with my friends as a poor kid who's in, I don't know, suburban America or something like that, yeah, maybe that's just plenty. Maybe that's awesome because I don't feel like I'm ostracized for not only being poor, but also, or financially insecure, and also, what do you call it, not being able to experience like connections with my friends and playing games with kids my age and things like that. So I don't know. As much as I do hate it, I do hate that every game seemingly is just like fucking trying to rip as much fucking money out of you as possible. And it's not, $1 billion's not good enough. We need 2 billion, 5 billion, 10 trillion, rip and just die, fucking weak. Man, the one thing that's pissed me off so much in the last couple days, not days, months, is this person who I used to watch on podcasts a lot as a guest, recently turned into like the most snobby rich person ever, calling people pores. And I'm just like, what a fucking rat. What a disgusting rat. Anyways. But that's a reason why live service games can be pretty tight. I don't know. Because if at least it gives you access to participate. Maybe not win, maybe not get everything you want, but participate. So, yeah. By the way, I could totally see Pale World eventually going free to play. Like, maybe not. Maybe it launches and 2 years after it goes free to play. Oh, let me catch up on chat. Sorry, I was on a rant. Let me. Rasa says, let them make Indiana Jones game, but don't make Crystal Skull into a game. You don't like that one with Shia LaBeouf? Rasa says, I went through Blockbuster phase. I used to rent games like even recommend my first PC game was rented Terminator War of the Machine. Dude, that was a great game. Holy shit. Is that the game I'm thinking of? Maybe. There was like a Terminator game that I always remember being a fucking banger. It was such a fun game. Man, it was good. Anyways, but yeah, man, renting games is just, that's one of the few memories I have, which I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to experience nowadays, but it was so good. It was so good. Also, like, looking back on it, what a fucking good deal. Like, he spent like maybe $8 on a game, and it makes sense. It makes so much sense. Like, it's the absolute win. Like, especially when you're younger, most people don't like beat games, at least I didn't. So the fact that I could go, get a unique experience, get a taste of a game, if I wanted more of it, I could keep playing it for a couple months. But yeah, and also the fact that, like, you easily make your money back, easily by buying the games, as the retailer, as Blockbuster, you easily make your money back. But also, it's like such a good deal for your parent who's like, instead of spending $60 consistently for a couple months, I spend $10 a month. It's like Game Pass. Basically like Game Pass, except with less options. Or more commitment, I should say. More options, a little bit less options, but a lot more commitment. It's such a good fucking thing, man. It's made by Atari. Okay, no, so then I'd probably play it. I probably didn't play the Terminator game. I'm talking about it's like a third-person Terminator game that was really, I thought it was fun. I mean, not great, but fun. Fluff says they almost made Gotham Knights a live service, and they tried and failed with Shadow of War. Yeah, well, now I think about it, I forgot. I was like, what has Warner Brothers done again for live service? That was the biggest fail I've ever seen in a video game. Is the Warner Brothers Shadow of War game, which was such a good game. Would have probably went down as one of like the most S-tier open world games, but holy fuck, did they botch it so bad with like limiting content and shit like that. Yeah. One thing I don't agree with, though, I always remember back in the day, people were like on my ass for using the. I think when I pre-ordered the game, basically, and when you pre-order the game, you got access to an XP multiplier. And someone early on said, "Hey, if you pre-order this game, you get access to a crazy XP multiplier." What you want to do is basically you want to save. You want to basically pop that and then do as much of the story content as you possibly can. And I did, and I basically got to max level immediately when I ended the game, and a lot of people didn't, because they didn't do that. They just popped it immediately or forgot about it or whatever, and then they just did the story, and yeah. But to me, I don't really hate the XP multiplier stuff. I do when it's like 300 hours compared to 15 or something, or not, let's say 80. 80, that's too much. That's too much of like a scale. That no longer becomes optimized for fun. Like, there should be, leveling up should be optimized for fun and growth, okay? It shouldn't be optimized to like, we'll make it so fucking bad that you need the XP multiplier. But the reason why the XP multiplier might exist is because if you work a full-ass job and you have 2 hours a day and you don't have 15 like some teens, that could be a way to catch up. I don't think it should ever go beyond like $5 for a fucking XP multiplier, maybe even $2, but still. But people got on my ass when I was playing covering that game, because I used that, and I was like, I used it better than you did. That's why you're mad, because most people pre-order the game. Good, because it's a very anticipated game, dude. Stormtroopers Extermination released sometime 2023, and IGN has a teaser trailer from last November 2022. But it released? There's no gameplay on it? Really? Golly. Let me pull up that gameplay either from Fluff or Lone. Let's do Fluff's first because I asked him about this, and we also been looking at this gameplay for a little while. So let's use the contrast to our benefit. Also have to move this here because I gotta switch scenes. I'll do full face cam because yes. This Discord, I think y'all messaged me. Let's see this one. View. All right. This actually looks kind of okay. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see this. This doesn't look bad by any means. Also, I should make sure I do one of these. The highest quality stream I know, where a man has to literally get up to switch things. Hey, shut up. This looks good. I literally have never seen this at all. I thought this was like Exomech or whatever it was, Exome Primal. But Jesus, have you guys ever seen this game? What the fuck? It looks good. You're setting up bases and like money dumps. The AI doesn't look derpy. I know Red's not gonna love it because it's a first-person game, but still, yeah, that is ridiculous. I've never seen that ever, and it looks like a cool game. Exo Primals is pretty great. Yeah, no, Exo Primals looks legit. Exo Primals looks like a cool, like, it's like this except if Warframe and this had a baby, I guess. They made the revolver. Lone says the revolver is probably the next weapon I want to get into because it's kind of like the shotgun, where it's just very satisfying. Yeah, no, I get you, man. My list, Lone, of what I want to do in that game is I want to go my shotgun, and I think the next one I have to go is the pistol, like you said. It's just the only one that's kind of some convergence. I wish it was 1-to-1 accuracy on hip fire. That'd be like ideal, but I don't think it is. So I'm gonna get in the habit of aiming, unfortunately. But yeah. But there was one other weapon that I wanted to play with so badly. Maybe it was the shield. I don't think it was the shield. Man, I can't describe to you guys how my throat is just like aching, like completely thrashed. Not great. I forgot what the good news is. By the way, there was an update for the finals. There is a 1v. It basically bank it, except you don't have to play with one person. You don't have to have it on a team. Basically, you can just play it by yourself, which to me is like, okay, that is the premium place to like practice stuff. That way you're not holding back your team and all these things, and it's just a kill. It's just like practicing getting kills, and there is some sort of like passive thing to getting money and playing the objective. That to me is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And also, bank, it's a fun game mode where you can actually like kind of like steal people's money and like to become the number one person. Also, it helps you, like, you could practice the kill people meta and get better at shooting, things like that in bank it with one person, or with just solo bank it. Or you could also just get better playing the objective, like slipping around, grabbing the money, throwing it through windows, traversing in that way, and just like yoinking people's cash. So that could you also get good at that. The heavies don't feel like that's a good. But actually, no, heavies are pretty strong regardless. Heavies are like, even just their gun, you can nuke some people, so it's not quite that bad. But yeah. Fluff says, I recently picked it up during a 50% off sale, just in time for its Monster Hunter collab. Yeah. I seen that. So what do you guys think? I'm not sure if you guys have seen the news, but what do you guys think about the Ubisoft debacle, which is Ubisoft kind of, sort of, basically being like, we want a world where gamers have to become comfortable with not owning their games. Gamers have to be comfortable with not owning their games anymore. Is what a main guy at Ubisoft said. And their stock prices just fucking tanked. And it wasn't like Ubisoft stock prices were doing great beforehand. They've been on a steady decline ever since they haven't been releasing games. And also, no one's been fucking enjoying the same formula that they refuse to fucking change. Anyways, sorry. But what do you guys think about that shit? To me, the businessification, how I just told you guys that, like, what if, the story thing about, like, you're a CEO and you're eventually, you start off good, you end up becoming, you end up getting tempted by greed and gluttony quite a bit, for good reasons even. Fluff says it's a bad take, but a truthful one. Yeah, well, what I was gonna say is, to me, it's like if you think of it from a player's perspective, absolutely dog shit. But if you think about it from a business standpoint, makes all the sense in the world. Like, again, it's like, do you want to have a business model where a person buys once and then they're done and then they own the thing forever? Or, and this is kind of their argument, where it could be good for players, which is basically, what if we were able to drop the price of video games? What if we were able to drop the price of video games to $10? But you have to pay that $10 for as much as you're enjoying the game. Let's say you enjoy it for 6 months. Okay, you can spend $60 on a game, $10 a month, $60 game, boom, awesome. But what if you play a game for 12 months? Okay, okay, that's great. Now, it's actually, for a lot of us, we might be like, okay, that's actually interesting. That sounds like Game Pass. Great. But gluttony and greed get a call in, and they're like, okay, but what if you had the option? Like, maybe, let's just hypothetically say that a lot of our games going forward are also going to have skins. Maybe some DLC. So now you're spending $10, which is cheaper, but maybe you see a skin that you really like, and it's maybe, say, $20. $20 for, let's say $20 for a bunch of platinum coins, which can buy 3 amazing skins. Awesome, right? Good deal. Okay, great. Now let's say there's DLC. Oh, you just seen that video on YouTube? We just paid a content creator to promote that. It's awesome, right? Awesome. Go buy that. Now it's up to, let's say, I don't know, your total is up to like $300 a year, essentially, which is more than some people actually spend on video games. Great. And yeah, but there is a version of it that to a CEO, etc., and even into some gamers, again, which would be like, hey, instead of spending $60 on a game that you may only play for 2 hours because that's all the time you have, maybe it doesn't resonate with you, whatever, you just have to spend $10 and you're going to try some shit, and you're going to see if it's good or not, you know? You don't technically own the game, but you own your save data, because as long as you have an account with us, the data is saved in the cloud, we'll pay for that, and we make more consistent money. It's a way for us to have more consistent profits rather than massive highs and massive lows. Everything kind of gets rounded off. And then it only becomes a battle of making good games that keep your attention for longer. Right? You know? So as much as like, it sounds terrible, like Fluff is saying, it sounds terrible, but it's to a lot of people, I think, it's not like, to some people would like volunteer for, yeah, absolutely, $10 instead of $60 a game. Like, I don't play a game for more than 3 months anyway, usually. Yeah, and if I do end up playing it for more, then absolutely I should have to pay more, right? I'm told that seemed fair to me. Yeah. But this is the idea of, like, this is the business idea of, like, well, yeah, you don't want to own your games. Like, you shouldn't have to own your games. And I imagine a person like Lone is seething, because Lone still buys to this day hard copies of games, and he owns that shit, unarguably. So yeah. Apparently, I didn't know about this. There's a company that basically sells, like, the actual contained game, like the packet. So, like, it's in like an exe file or something like that I could give this file to Fluff, for instance, and he could play the game and it would run perfectly fine. You don't need to have Steam, you don't need to have all this other shit. I'm sure there's some weird, like, sometimes it doesn't work, you gotta troubleshoot it kind of thing. But the fact that I could, like, email Fluff or Loan or whatever a file folder, and just hitting go on that file folder, you could play the game in all of its glory. That's kind of crazy. I forget what the site is called. I think it's like OGOG or something like that. I don't know what it's called. But yeah. Lone says, I wear it with pride on... I'll wear it with pride on my sleeve. Okay. Lone, did you send me the gameplay of the shield guy? Or is that you? It might be you playing with the shield kick popping off. I really want to go eat some honey, because maybe it'll coat my throat and it won't be as scratchy and painful. Where is Lone's thing? Is it in... Where would it be? Remnant video maybe for Lone? It's probably Lone's thing. Ew! Why am I there? Keep in mind your heart does come back if you refresh the page. Oh, or that was that. Okay. Here we go. We have 2 gameplays from Lone. I'll open them both. Is this Lone? It is! This is Lone! This is Lone's gameplay, the absolute mad lad. He's going to show us what real shield... I can't speak. Shield gameplay will be. Also, Lone, not a bad thumbnail. Or sorry, not a bad not a bad what do you call it? Title. Onslaught. Yeah, sounds like a solid, edgy as fuck title. But yes. The videos and this. Damn it. Okay. Sorry. Oh, mother of God. Oh, my chest. Oh, dude, I've been doing this exercise thing where it's basically you focus on the stretch when you do a movement, and then you basically super elongate the eccentric, or is it incentric movement? I think it's eccentric movement, or incentric movement. But basically, it's so like if you were doing a press, you would do a quick press to fire your twitch fiber muscles as fast as you possibly can, and then you would slowly bring the weight down, like slowing down that eccentric, maybe not that much, but you would just do it to the point where like your body is shaking, like trying to keep it slow as it's coming down. But then you do that, and then you press up again fast, slow. But then the other thing that you do, so you focus on the lowering movement slower, but also you focus on the stretch. Now, I've always heard people say in exercise you should focus on range of movement. Like, that's, of course, why not, right? You want to get as much movement out of those arms and the muscles as you possibly can. It's great. You don't want to be one of those people who's fucking like this tight as fuck. Yeah, I'm swole, but I can't move. I can't move at all, right? That makes sense. But I've heard the range of movement thing a ton when it comes to exercising, but what was amazing is when someone said, no, focus on the stretch. Not the range of movement necessarily. Focus on the point in which you can feel your muscles start to really stretch. Like you can feel those fibers really getting spread out. Now you always have to drop weight when you do this because you don't want to lift like fucking massively heavy and then like you're stretching them out, like you're pulling your muscles apart. It's not good. But that shit, man, it had my arms just. I've never felt soreness in my chest nor in my arms. My legs, ferocious soreness. My legs, I'm so not adapted to my legs. Most men, you'll barely ever feel like chest pain and back pain and arm pain, or soreness, I should say. You'll absolutely feel fucking soreness in your legs. Maybe you'll feel some soreness in your back. But holy shit, doing this kind of movement, soreness in my arms, dude. Every time I lock up my arms, I push them forward. Oh, I haven't felt soreness in my body for a long time, boys. And it's back. Anyways, I don't want to ramble at you guys about that. Also, Lone is, yeah, what do you call it, Lone? That is such a good ability, the grapple hook thing. Did someone just blow it up? And you didn't die because you were holding the shield? Holy shit. Fluff says, most games we own are just licensed to access the games. Yeah, if Steam shut down tomorrow, we'd lose everything. Do you watch Inside Games, Fluff? Because I just watched that this morning. I love it. It's like I used to watch Inside Gaming. It's Bruce and Lawrence. I'm not sure if that makes any sense to you, but I fucking love those guys. I've watched them for such a long time. And yeah, they're like my daily, like, they're kind of like pessimistic, but also fair in a weird way, but also kind of pessimistic. But anyways, that was one of the things they mentioned was basically like, yeah, most people love Steam. Most people just love the shit out of Steam. The reality is Steam could like change their terms of service and be like, yeah, $10 right now, or all of your games are gone. $10, and we're just like, what the fuck? But it's, yeah, we don't own the games. It's on them to basically have benevolence, and you're like, fucking shit. So you would imagine if Gabe somehow left Steam, and then that's day one what happened. They're just like, well, why don't we make more money? You know, and we're living in a nightmare. It's so loud. It's not good. It's not very good. Ugh. Fluff says, they offer DRM free games and their proprietary launch act as a universal one that tracks the rest of yours. Ooh, that's nice. That's what it's nice. That's nice. Ooh. Fluff says, gotta get going. My last Saturday shift tonight. The start of my final week at Safe. Oh wait, is that where you worked? I'm not sure if you ever told me what it was. Actually, That's funny. You have Safeway. We have Save On Foods. Everything in Canada, I think they're the same thing. It's like EB Games versus GameStop. EB Games is Canada's GameStop, basically. There's always a convergence, but yes. But thank you so much for sound. Bye, love. Always love talking to you. Oh, also, sorry, Ross, I fucking blacked out. I forgot. Nintendo ever does it by adding that you can play online. Rasta says, like, if the subscription model goes in a greedy, like, platform adding online playing services, then I disagree with players not owning games. Like Xbox does the online playing subscription. Well, that's something that, like, to me, I think it's hilarious, but everyone gives Sony so much shit for, where it's like, why do I have to pay for, like, a PlayStation Online or whatever it is, when, like, if you're on PC, you don't have to do that. And I'm not even sure if Xbox, you still have to pay for Xbox Live. Maybe. I could see them, like just combining it into Game Pass, but anyways. But yeah, that's what Sony could have done. Sony could have easily been like, hey, this is just the... Yeah, but Sony just doesn't want to do anything Xbox does. But I don't know, man. Yeah, to me, that's something that it bothers me. Well, it's actually a good thing. More and more, you guys would not have been able to tell me that after 2 console generations, a bunch of exclusives, that PC would become the king, basically. It's the king. It's more expensive for the crown. I'll be honest, the crown is expensive. But it also has so much more use cases. But anyways, yeah, I would have not believed that we were going to live in a world where PCs are just thriving like this. Especially come from a time when most PC things were like crappy, like they weren't very well ported. You have a 50-50 chance of like games kind of being half-assedly ported, and hopefully it works really well with your systems and such. But now it just seems like, especially with NVIDIA and AI, NVIDIA has like led the charge to being like, nah, we're gonna be the best at this. Ray tracing, the whole shit, yeah, why not? We're gonna charge like 50% more than what the cards are worth because of the stupid Bitcoin crisis, but still nice, still kind of nice. That's the craziest thing, man. Like, these graphics cards do not cost as much to make, but they just kept the COVID prices basically, which is shit, absolutely dog shit. Fluff says, I didn't, but it's a topic that's been discussed multiple times as we've been shifting away from the physical media and digital. Yeah, I do like the idea though that like you should still theoretically, because that was the thing, why are we paying more for games when you don't have to produce them, like produce the disc and burn them on and get the case and the manuals and all that stuff. Theoretically, games should be much cheaper, not having to be done with that process, but yet they're not, which is a waste, because a lot of like Steam and Sony and all these people could have made more money theoretically if they were just to use PCs and stuff like that. I don't, but it's a Flux says, well, it was Alberta stores. Sorry, I was Albertsons, but was recommended a rebrand April/May of last year. Oh, weird. Okay, is that how that works? Yeah, because a lot of those companies like Safeway and any other like weird grocery store, they're like, there's the illusion that they're different, but the reality is that they're owned by the same massive conglomerate that owns every single fucking store in the world, you know. So then they're like, yeah, just swap out, just change it. Let's say that we got replaced. Oh, that was it. Loop this one so that doesn't, you guys don't see my suggested content. Oh golly. Oh. Fluff is going to bed finally. Bye, Fluff. Love you. Fluff says, y'all have a good one. I hope I can actually play the finals, Pal World and or Suicide Squad with you after I'm out. Yeah, I can't wait. It'll be like a good old days where we can play the games together. Like Xbox says that online stuff. Rasta says, cause like developers can say, yeah, players shouldn't own games, but they never count offers like play platforms should make subscription model. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, Albertson and Safeway merged some time ago, and it seems likely that they'll be acquired by Kroger in the next few years. Golly! Yeah, man, well, that's one of the most scary things is when you realize like every single conglomerate thing or every company or whatever or business is like owned by the same people. Like eventually you go up the line and like, oh yeah, they're all owned by like Tencent or like these BlackRock, I think is another one. But you're like, wow. So all of this like, they're my rival business. It's like, no, it's just probably people basically synthetically creating the idea of competition without actually being competition, you know, which is wild. But yes, what else? What would it go? Oh, that was the other thing I want to talk about. It's so fucked up. I always talk about stuff like this when Fluff leaves, and Fluff is usually the one who is like, I got something. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the selfish little, I'll make it quick, part of the stream. But basically, we just, well, I shouldn't say it yet. I don't want to be, we're not done yet. I still am trying to edit this. Like, I wanted the final video on Sunday to be a really good video. To end off the week of uploads, essentially. But I don't want to get too early, but because maybe it takes so long to edit this video, I might just have to release a half-ass video if I can't do it enough. But what do you call it? We uploaded daily, and oh my god, guys, I can't. Just let me break for a bit. I fucking can't. Holy shit. I try. Luckily there was so much to talk about on Thursday and Friday with Pale World and like the game stuff, but I am so tired, guys. My fucking day has been wake up, film something, try to edit a thumbnail for that video, try to then come up with a title for that video, then in the same day quickly try to edit the performance, then the next day try to edit a thumbnail, upload the video, then try to record 2 videos, so that way I can edit one of those videos, both of those videos, yes, tomorrow, and then I can use that time to record another 2 or 3 videos, and then wake up early in the morning and then edit and edit and edit. I'll shit you not, guys. This was a week where, like, sometimes you hyperbolic stuff or whatever. This week I've read maybe like 3 chapters of a manga as like filler time. I haven't watched any shows. I haven't played any games. I haven't done anything. I have literally just woke up, edit, make a thumbnail, perform, come up with an absurd idea, do the same thing again and again, like back to back to back to back to back. Even today's video, which I liked a lot, is a different format because I was just like, I need to find some way to like get 3 more hours in a day, essentially. So I made this video that I made a format that's just me talking, essentially. It's like a voiceover, which I think turned out actually really well. But man, it put things into perspective to me of like, I love this. I love making videos. I love making YouTube videos. I will never not make it. People talking about this whole month. People have been talking about like quitting. Oh, something I want to talk to Fluff as well about. But game theory having basically is going away. It's sad. It's super sad to me. I want to talk to him about that because it's weird. I feel like this weird. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like I actually really adore game theory. I've been watching it for years and years and years. And now that it's gone, I have like this weird thing where I kind of feel bad about it. It makes me feel like shitty about it. But I don't really want to I don't want to watch it anymore. Is that fucked up? Like, it's not that, I don't know. I love people. I love people a lot. So with this one person not being there, yes, they're there. Maybe they're kind of there. And I'm sure I'll get sucked down like a cool title and thumbnail, which Game Theory's always been good about. But fuck, man. It's like, it just makes me depressed a little bit because like the person that I'm subscribed to the channel for is no longer going to be there. I so much prefer the PewDiePie way of retirement, which is I'm never going to say I retire, but you've had enough of me basically, which I love. I love the idea of basically like, no, I'm going to give myself plenty of leadway to basically make a video on a dime if I want, but there could be like maybe even a month without a video because I'm tired. Like I've done enough. I've dedicated 20 years to making you smile and laugh. That's enough, you know? It doesn't mean I'm giving it up, but it just means that it's time to work on me a little bit. It's time to put some spotlight on me. That's nice. It's funny because that's the same thing MatPat's doing, but the way MatPat did it, which was beautiful and like very emotional, it also makes me feel like depressed a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. I want to talk to Fluff about that, but maybe another time. Maybe he'll watch this in the past when he's, what do you call it, listening to this stream like a podcast. Sometimes he does that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel bad because I don't think I'm gonna watch Mad Pat's videos anymore, like game theory videos. I might, but to me it's such a, again, it feels so weird. If like I know the hosts are great, and I think the whole game theory crew is lovely, but it just feels weird. It's not why it's not what I developed. The connection that I developed with someone, it's like starting over again. You know what I mean? And I'd rather just start that over with like a brand new channel. But also, I want to support the person that clearly entertained me for so many years. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not sure if anyone was a fan of game theory, so I don't know how anyone else feels about that, but that's just, I know Fluff was, I think, a decent, big fan of it. But what was I talking about? Oh, the daily upload thing. Back to my selfish rant. I'm happy I did it. I'm really grateful that I was able to do the thing that I've done for like 6 years, so I know I have it in me. I know if I wanted to, I could fucking send it. I could like focus in and like find a way forward. I could solve the problems every day of like, I don't have a thumbnail, shit. I don't have a video plan, shit. I don't know, am I going to be able to edit this in time, shit. I don't want to make a consolation on not editing this fast, this part, which I think would make the video better, but I don't have any time to really do it. Fuck it, I'll stay up an extra 2 hours, lose some sleep, but get the video, make the video better, and things like that. But even doing that, I still found that there were moments when I was making stuff where it bothered me. Also, Lone, great gameplay, by the way. Sorry, I'm not saying enough. Great gameplay, but I'm not seeing enough. How do I put this properly? There was plenty of times where I could have not uploaded a video daily and made a much better thumbnail, which meant a lot more people would have given it a chance, and more people could have seen something maybe fun. There was a lot of times where I could have slowed down and added better music and better effects, and maybe like instead of doing one day of recording, I could have done 2 and made sure that those 2 recordings were fucking amazing, the best transitions, the best performance of it all, because a lot of them is me just like, I have to do everything in one take, and it takes me a while to kind of like get into a weird character of whoever the fuck we're playing, but I couldn't do that because we have to have a video for that day, so I need to edit it in like 2 hours, so I need to finish this performance now before I can go do that. So I don't know. Yeah, to me it was. It's one of those things where like I'm happy I did it. I definitely think we'll increase the upload rate of the channel, while simultaneously being painfully aware of like I really do like having time when it comes to making videos. Like I really like the idea of like, okay, I'm going to not upload a video today, but instead I'm just going to work on trying to make the best thumbnail for that video. I'm going to jump in VR. I'm going to try to set up a camera. I'm going to try to get the best video thumbnail for what's going to happen in the video. All that stuff. And I'm not going to worry about all that stuff. Also, it would be nice to also then take the rest of that day off, maybe, if I'm burnt out as hell, and read manga for a little bit, and then do editing, because I'm finally recovered, you know? So yeah, to me, I think, at the most, I think we will probably aim for 3 videos a week, probably. We'll see. I might need like 1 more week to recover a little bit, because I do want to go back on Monday and try to get better thumbnails for all those videos, because all the videos thumbnails I'm not a big fan of. With one exception being the Magic Bone Lab with Magic. I love the like us looking at the staff one. It's just a really cool, like really bright. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks really neat. Definitely doesn't look like a Bone Lab video, which is a problem because most people aren't clicking on it because they like Bone Lab. But yeah. All right, let's catch up on chat. Red says, Grin, you gonna try to create a dedicated server for Pale World? I sent you a DM of the video for, yeah, eventually probably, yeah. I do think I probably will take maybe a week and a half, Red, to probably just get situated with the game, because I would like to like have more of an understanding before we like all embark on like making a big ass whatever it would be. Whether it's it's like a base, or whether it's like a community base, or whether it's like we each have like different areas, but they're close to each other. So like I could see your house off in the distance, I could see my house off in the distance. Maybe you're on a fucking mountaintop or some shit. Yeah, I would like that, like more of an understanding how to do that. But I do have the ambition to eventually do it. I do hope that it eventually comes to PS5, so that way we can play with Lone and people like that as well, because that's the only kind of limiting factor. Also, I don't know if we can all play, if people on Xbox can play with people on Steam. I hope so. I hope they'll get that sorted soon. But yeah. Lone says, what a week it has been. The videos all were interesting and kept me laughing the whole way through. Yeah, I know. I appreciate that, Lone. Although, if you were to compare the previous videos, you know how we just did like 3 weeks, or like that's to me the kind of the issue. And this is kind of where I get weird reinforcement mechanisms, where like we had, what was it? It was a video about VR in a dream that got significantly more views than normal. The next video I got was our fun like a Reluctant Pervert series, which is basically us exploring the weird, odd and funny and interesting aspects of like lewdness in VR, I guess, which that got a lot more attention. That was significantly fun. And then the last video I think was all of the most essential gun mods in Bone Lab. All 3 of those, to me, took a little bit more time to make. And all 3 of those ended up getting more views because of that. But I don't know if you were to actually do a survey of all of the viewership, because YouTube basically knows your patterns. So like if I kept doing daily videos, I think eventually YouTube would be like, oh, okay. But because I went from doing like 1 video a week to doing 6 videos in 1 week, YouTube probably was like, what? and got kind of thrashed. But we'll see. But I don't know. When I did my research for YouTube stuff, it was either people like 1 video a week every Friday or Monday, or they like 6. They like daily videos essentially. It's either or. And I wanted to see if our audience on that channel likes daily videos or likes weekly videos, and I think it makes sense. The audience that I've kind of cultivated seem like people who would rather have 1 video a week, but is really, really highly good, I guess, or highly edited and something. I want to try to bridge the gap a little bit closer, though. Again, if I could ever get to 3 videos a week, that'd be fucking peak, you know. But let's see. Let's hope for the best. Lone says, I've watched a game theory video every now and then. Yeah, you have. Yeah. It's been one of my the few pleasures I've ended up watching for like since the very beginning. Like I was subscribed right around the time he uploaded his like fabled game theory Ness is Sans video, which I actually loved. I thought like what a fun story. Like what a cool idea. Like even if it's just LARPing nonsense about like nothing being real and it doesn't have to be grounded. It was just a really fun like person who made like a bunch of threads connect in a fun way, and I was like, this is awesome. Apparently people gave him a lot of shit for that video, but I always loved it. But I don't have a dog in any of those fights. Like the whole Undertale and fucking what is it called? Whatever the other one was. But yeah. Red says game theory surprisingly has never came up in my wow game theory, that's crazy because game theory has like he's one of the most impressive YouTube creators ever. Like he's kind of like a Mr. Beast, where it's like at a certain point it stops being luck, you know, where like if you make 6 channels pop off really, really hard, or I think it's 4 channels pop off really, really hard in different, like completely different categories, that gets weird. Like that's hyper weird. You know human nature enough to where you can make something that most people really, really like, or you can understand someone so much to the extent in which they really hang out. Why are people pausing, Lone? What is that? Why don't I get games like this where people are just, maybe it's console, it's probably console stuff, but yeah, where a person just like stops midway and like that's just easy eating. It's easy eating. Raid says same. Really? That's crazy to me, guys. He's one of the channels that has like 10 million subs on his main channel and like 4 million subs on his other couple. You know, it's crazy. And yeah, he's also been weekly uploading for like, it hasn't broke that for like, I want to say, fucking maybe like 9 years. Yeah, crazy. Oh, my nose. Oh. Red says, I watched a lot of gaming related videos, but never seen a game theory video. That's fucking wild. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyways, yeah, so I think I'm gonna try to, for today, I'm going to try to edit that one video that I made, and then I hope I can have a thumbnail and everything made for it, and then I am okay to either play Power World, which I really want to do, or I probably will just make sure I finish today strong, and I make the kind of conclusion video of the video I probably want to upload on Monday about being like, okay, we did the daily upload thing. Here are all my takeaways. Thank you guys for letting me ramble about that, so I kind of have a better understanding of how I feel, which is, I'm happy I did it. I love it to bits. It was really fun. If I ever had like a team of editors, 100% I could do it. Like my issue is only me. I can like perform my ass off. I can come up with super absurd ideas. What I do in editing isn't like shocking. A lot of it is just knowing the idea I have and then just like padding it with reinforcement mechanisms like audio, sound design, and things like that. But yeah, all that stuff is fine. But I don't have an editor, so it's just little old me. So yeah. But also, I like as much as I don't know. I really want to. I don't know what we're gonna do with Power World. At very least, it's probably gonna become a dominant streaming game. But we also, I might try to make a couple videos on it just for the GRINN channel, the live streaming channel, because I think it'd be good to have a place to talk about that game, because I really do think I could make a quick video talking about it and maybe make a guide or something that could be helpful. Something like that. Although I think there's a lot of channels that are going to do that, so we'll see. But I'll have to scope things out and, yeah, MacGyver stuff around. But anyways. Lone says, they are paralyzed with fear, Grim. They see me, and they just stop. I mean, it is terrifying, I will say. When you see a shielder running at you, I still haven't got anything that happened to me yet. I haven't yet had a shielder run at me. I've had sword people run at me where people are usually like, oh, and they just kind of like start to run away or slide, which is usually the worst thing you could do. The best thing you could do is like start like side jumping and then like shooting them, essentially. But it's really hard when they're so zippy. Red says, I'm certainly going straight back to Power World after this stream. I want to go, Red. I was hilarious. What happened to your saving for the graphics card? Do you have any videos and people watching it, playing it, and you're like, it's worth $30. I can be $30 behind. Yeah, because man, that was again, I can't wait to get back to it. It's one of those games where like I haven't had it in a while where I'm like, I want to get back. I'll be straight over since all of my programming was made, all of my progress was made in Fluff's World. Oh wait, he said, though I'll be starting over. Oh, that sucks. Wait, but don't you keep your levels? Or no, you just like, that sucks. if you don't keep your levels and shit, that's awful. You have to grind all the way to 0 to 10. All the way again. I guess you could theoretically, like one of your buddy could basically like go into the world settings, scale the XP by like 20 or something, and then be like, okay, just fucking go kill 2 animals and you'll be your normal level, and you'll be good. I guess you still don't have your armor, but if your friend's been grinding, and like eventually the Pale World is one of those games where I think if you eventually you'll be able to have like infinite Pokeballs. Like you'll just have a manufacturing plant that just shoots out Pokeballs. You'll also be able to do that probably with arrows and shit. So you'll be pretty fine in that way, you know. So it probably is a matter of time kind of thing. I'm so happy that like crates and stuff like that don't have a weight limit though, because that's just ass. I hate when games have that level of realism. It's just like, stop. Please stop. Red says, well, yeah, seeing your enjoyment of it, and then Silver Veil's joy. I wanted to play. Yeah. There's a lot of people who probably were like, this is fucking massive. Okay. And I'm happy. It sounds like you're liking it too. So it wasn't like one of those games where you're like, nah, it's not quite my type of thing, you know. But I'm happy that you're enjoying it. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that is where we're going to call it today. We did stream a little bit long yesterday, so we'll end it early today. Normally I would keep going, but again, like I told you guys, I ended up throwing up last night, and I ended up like, I guess I should have like drank milk or something, because my fucking esophagus and stuff like that is like deeply in pain. Because I guess your stomach acid just eats away at your lung when you're sleeping, which is, yeah, dumb. But I'm off to try to be okay, essentially. And I'm going to edit and edit and edit some more, and then hopefully I can get this video uploaded, and we'll have done it. I can be like, yes! Because right now, I'm still not wanting to be like, I did it, because we haven't fully finished it yet. Also, lastly, the one thing I want to know, Lone, have you tried the new game mode in Bank It? The solo Bank It. Is it good? Has it changed like the process of the game? Or what? We'll end that, and we'll call that good. Yes. Also, thank you so much for Sparks, Red, Lone Syndicate, and Raid Nade, as well as Rasta for being here and just being nothing but absolutely lovely. Red says, there is 674 people playing Pale Word right now. Golly! I can't wait. I hope they expand that team and they just start making it rain. I feel like this is going to be... Man, dude, Xbox has done it again. I mean, like, we had Hi-Fi Rush, which was like a super unique game at the time when it came out. And I loved the shit out of it. That was like kind of a pseudo surprise drop. Now, Pale World isn't a surprise drop, but holy shit, is it? I think exactly what people needed right now. Pale Wind is at a peak, had peak players of 800,000. Woo! Shit is crazy. Fluff says, Lone says, yes, I've been telling you about it. It's you've been playing it. You've been playing it and wanting. It's just great. It's great. Yeah, you're enjoying it. Okay, good. I want to jump in and play because to me, I think it's exactly what I wanted about like having a place to kind of hone your gun skill and not feel bad like you're holding back a team. You know, if I look at the scoreboard and it's just a bunch of people at like minus 15 life, then I'm like, good. We're all just trying to kill people. We're all just trying to get good with our flick shots. But ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I can see you once again. We'll be streaming on Thursday. We will probably be streaming. I still want to do VR. I still want to do like one stream of VR, but I definitely think Pale Wind will become a common stay. Oh, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, before we end it, I have one more thing I want to ramble at you guys. How do you guys feel? No, I don't think I can do it. At least not right now. I'm so tired. I haven't done anything that's like chill in a while. I was debating doing, you know how we did like a week of streaming or a week of uploading videos daily. I wanted to see if we could do a week of if we could do a week of streaming Pale Wind basically, or Pale World, Pal World. I really need to get out of here. My chest is starting to really hurt. But yeah, I was debating it. I don't think we're gonna do it though. Eventually, maybe we'll stream every day next week. Pal World, we'll see. I'm not sure. You guys, we'll leave it open. If you guys start to see me Monday streaming this game, popping off, then damn. If you guys start seeing me Thursday streaming that game, then we probably are doing the whole week of just Pal World until we just completely fully send it. We max out our shit, and yeah, but we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, love you to bits. Hope I can see you again. I'm out. My fucking heart's gonna stop. Because yeah, I'm in pain. But anyways, love you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I appreciate you. Also, there's a myriad of videos on the VR channel. So if you like VR, fucking, you're cooking with gasoline. All right, don't do that. Apparently, it's very dangerous. Ending. Bye. You guys will be down? Okay, that's good. Well, we'll see. Again, I'm going to give myself after a day of recovery on Sunday before we pop off too hard.